Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Monday night for the Tanso Racing Group at Clarkson James GT3 Championship Season 8, Round 8, live from Indy Road. I'm JP. I'm going to be joined in the booth, not by Alex Goldschmidt this week. He is off jetting somewhere rather nice. I think he is going this week. Where is he at the moment? He's in Qatar, apparently, so unfortunately he's unable to make it. But Tom Cairns has jumped in for the final round of the season. Standing, Scotty Kostrick out in front in the AMs by 19 points, with Harry 7 a further 24 points behind him. That's really going to be the top three, unless one of them has an absolute shocker, and then Mark Wesley or Joel Loudon might be able to come and take one of the top three spots. Now, in the pros, Harry Hartley-Price finished on 178, Andy White on 165, and George Reyes on 160. Let's not forget, it's 40 points for the win, and it only takes George Reyes to win this race and the other two to have a bit of a shocker, and he could end up being the champion. Now, we talked a lot about this last week. A lot. George Reyes, since he's been here, has pretty much won most of the races he's been involved with, and he's moved up through the points to 160 points. So he's been here for 4 rounds, won every single one, and he's now within earshot, or should I say, of winning this one. Now, Hartley-Price and Andy White need to score over 200 points to stop George Reyes from taking a full house. If he takes the 40 here tonight, he's on 200. Hartley-Price cannot be that far behind him. He needs those 34 points in second, if he can, to get above the 200-point mark to be able to take the championship. It's very, very close. It's going to be exciting. We have got 90 minutes of this wonderful circuit that I'm not a lover of. But let's bring in Mr. Tom Kent, and then he can tell me if he likes it or not. Tom, welcome in. Oh, Tom's on mute. I don't know if he realises. All right, well, we'll give Tom a minute to let him figure that one out. And then he'll be back with us, I'm sure. I'm just going to drop him a message as well, just so he knows that he's on mute here, because otherwise, sometimes people do forget, or they forget to push the talk button. And I've done that before. Welcome in if you are here. John, thank you for joining us for the championship finale. Ready to go. It's going to be an interesting one, and I'm sure everybody's going to fully enjoy themselves at the same time. Season 9 track list has just been released. Start again on the 3rd of November. Sebring then is the opening race. Then we go to Interlagos, then Suzuka, then Mount Panorama, then Watkins Glen, and then we go to Mugello. Okay, so it's going to be 6 race season, 45 minutes practice, 15 minutes closed quali, 5-minute warm-up, 60-minute races, 60% fuel, fixed setup, 1 fast repair, and penalty every 20x, no disqualification. So if you do want to get yourself involved in that one, please head to the Discord link down below. I think Tom's figured out his mic here as well. Tom, are you with us?
I am now, yes.
Oh, well, there you go. Back in the room as well. Tom, going to be an interesting one. Do you like Indy Road? I'm not a lover.
I am, but I would be if there wasn't that chicane at the end of it.
What? And it was just straight round. Do you know the thing is as well? They don't really utilise the oval, which really bugs me about this circuit. You know, Daytona utilised the oval. Charlotte utilises the oval. They don't here. They produced an inroad in the inside, and that's it. We've got about a 5-minute warm-up now as well, Tom. If they utilise the oval more, I'd probably like this circuit, but I don't like it at all.
I see where you're coming from with that. I mean, this is just coming from a nostalgic era myself. If you look at that chicane of, I think it's turns 8 and 9, that fast one before the right-hander leaves back onto the banking. It used to be a double hairpin. I was actually more of a fan of it because I think it kind of just slows down a little bit with the flow, but I get why they changed it. But I suppose it's not for everyone, is it?
No, it's not. That last chicane, though, before they go round onto the start-finish straight, is quite interesting because they do have a motorbike road course which utilises that chicane. It comes into the right, and then it is a double hairpin. It goes right and then round to the left. But they don't utilise it in the road situation. Now, for me, I just sit back and I just think this course is very flat. And this is what we're talking about here now. We're just on board currently at the moment with Hayden Young. you know, we're sweeping around the right-hand side, and then we're going to nip back into the infield again very, very shortly, just about here. And you can see we go right, and then we sort of go left, and then we go back out again. Where if you look just on the left-hand side, there's an exit there. That's the motorcycle exit course. We've just dived into pit lane, actually, as well for Hayden Young. I just find that they could have done so much more with this circuit. They could have really utilized that infield. That infield is massive, and they've kind of almost squashed it to one half, you know, the top half of the circuit. It just drives me bonkers.
And that's the thing with the changes they've done to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's not just for the Indy 500, but it's also for its Indianapolis Grand Prix event, which IndyCar do as well. I can't remember the official name of the event, but I know there's obviously some sponsorship involved in that. But I do like it. It's not the worst track in the world, in my opinion. But like I say, it's not everyone's favourite racetrack. But here we are in the warm session. Andy White is coming through the last corner, presumably just to do a fast lap in the session, and then we'll get underway with the feature race that follows here. And we've got the pros and the AMs, pros in yellows, AMs in the blues, for your information.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to be very, very close indeed. We are going to find out who is going to be where. Can Hartley Price wrap this up? Can Reyes take the next win? He has won pretty much every single ones that he's joined. He took the win in Catalonia. He took the win at Hermanos Rodriguez. He took the win at Le Mans. He took the win at the took the win at the Red Bull Ring, and that's the only ones he's joined. He's joined the last four, and he's won every single one. So it's gonna make it even more interesting. So, and then we're gonna find out how he gets on. Somebody to come into the championship and win every race he's been here, and still is in within a shot of being a championship winner, just seems bonkers.
I could agree with that. I mean, there's other championships which I know of where someone may miss the start of the season but somehow rescue it. Are there any drop scores involved in this particular series, James, for the viewers' information?
They do have drop scores, but I believe they have been added already. So I am on the understanding that it is now just a straight fight to get to the end. That is as much as I am on the understanding of this one. So yeah, they are just straight in it on that, because we did talk about it last week as well, and we did say about the drop scores, but as far as I'm aware, they have been submitted, and it is now a straight up fight, because there's a couple of people who haven't been here for every single race. They will obviously get zeros. Hayden Young, George Reyes, Craig Corish, Peter Duke, Tim Reed, Glenn Ablard, Simon Nelthorpe is now going to be between the guys at the front of Hartley Price and Andy White. Now, if we stay live long enough, we should be able to bring you up the full results, because they do generally get posted straight in chat after. So, moving on from that one. It is a 90-minute race, though. What do we think on tiredness as well, and how are they all going to cope? Because 90 minutes is a long time. I can barely go 45 minutes without falling asleep.
Well, we'll see soon enough. I mean, we've got enough competitors to see some brilliant battles throughout the field. I would assume there's going to be some pit stops as well. In terms of how many, well, it'll be two, yeah. So that's going to play another key role in the race, I would have thought.
Yeah, if it's anything like the warm-up races they did at 90 minutes, there's going to be two there as well. Stenar is in YouTube. Curves are causing damage. Something to keep an eye on, says Harry7 on that one. So thank you so much for that. Let's bring you up the grid for this 90-minute race. Craig Corish leading the way with Andy White, Hayden Young, Tim Reed, Sam Berry, and Harry Hartley Price. That's your top six. Jeremy Jukic, Quinton Klumper, Scotty Kostrick, James Moore, Harry Seven, and Joe Loudon there. Jeremy Jukic leading the AMs. Great job from him once again with Quinton Klumper in behind. Then we've got Raymond Van Zupfen, James Vardigans, Mark Wesley, Simon Darch, George Reyes. I'm not quite sure what you're up to, but if you are going to try a last to first, good luck. Gareth Newton and Mark Ossier, if Mark joins on here as well. A couple of people just waiting to get onto the grid. Mark Ossier has got on the grid. So he will be here ready for this one as well. Tom, what do you think? What's going to happen?
Well, considering it's dry at the present moment, I would have thought the pros would be moving clear of the rest, and we should hopefully get a fight between the likes of Corish, White, and Young. But Hartley Price, who's down in 6th position, has a chance to really stay in touch with the leading group. You can just see the field are on their pace lap now. Well, the pace car is just escorting them on a convoy, if you want to call it that, towards the latter part of the lap. And we'll be getting underway for this 90-minute encounter here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the latest chapter of this Tanso Racing Group series.
Last one of the season. It will be determined on who's going to be the champion here as well. We do have our resident steward, Mr. Connor Pink. He is doing our stewarding, and we will be able to keep an eye on that one as we both sit in a chat with him now as well. If you haven't seen that already, Tom, you should see that. And we're in there at the same time. So we'll get regular updates from Connor Pink, who's going to try and do the scores as well, apparently, to see if we can figure it all out here, because Sean is unfortunately on holiday. Not quite sure where Sean is, but he's on his Ollie Bobs, sunning himself somewhere, which is nice. So we've got the two Clark St. James boys at the front here as well. Great Corish, Andy White. Not quite sure why the timing tower has jumped around and has got the other people there. I think it's going to have to refresh itself. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, we are going to be green very shortly. Great Corish, Andy White, Hayden Young, Tim Reed are at the front of the field. That timing tower will change here. Hold on to your hats. It is now green. 90 minutes is up and running. It's Craig Corish leading the field down into turn number 1. And he's going to take the whole shot here. It's going to happen further in behind him, though. Hayden Young grabs that second place. He's done a great job so far. Andy White, Tim Reed, Sam Berry all in the mix. Harry Hartley Price there as well. Not bad for Craig Corish. He's done a great job jumping at the beginning, but Hayden Young tucked him right behind him.
Yeah, a good start from Hayden Young, up into second place by turn 1 as they take to the curbs through the infield of this Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you can just see the field settling down. There's a little bit of battling going down there in the AMS. As you can see someone on the far side in the background there. Couldn't quite see who was making his way through, but you can see almost like scattering around, aren't they? There is Harry Seven in that pink livery GT3 trying to go through at turn 8, but to no avail there. That is Quinton Klumpert. It further up ahead there in the brown livery machine there. The Dutchman in the number 8. Running in P12 overall, is, according to the timing pages, but in actual fact, it will be in 9th position. We're just waiting for the timing tower to update. But so far, so good. And no major incidents so far. Well, I say that, I jumped the gun. Yeah, then that's a little bit of debris going off.
Yeah, there was a massive send here. See the blue car on the left-hand side? I think that's actually George Reyes.
Oh, that's
floppy.
Really clumsy, wasn't it?
Yeah, George Reyes there sends it in. He's still got his front nose, but I'm wondering for how long. On that one, the timing tower is going to be updated. They should all over the line, have gone all over the line. So hopefully everybody should be in. No, it's still not for some reason. Picking up the guys in the background. Not entirely sure why it's done it like that either. So you have to give the timing tower a few minutes, let him settle down a bit before we can bring you up. But I can tell you now, it's Corish out in front, then Andy White, Tim Reed and Hayden Young dropping down into 4th in class. Scotty Kostrick is leading the AMS. Quinton Klumpert in 2nd. Now, good news for everybody that's followed the Quinton Klumpert story. Every time Quinton has changed his livery, he has gone on to take 3rd in the podium, and he won last week as well. I believe that is, yeah, I think that is Quinton, that is right. But there's a spinner behind that. One of the Clark St. James boys, Jeremy Yukage, has gone off as well. So great job from him. But Quinton Klumpert there has changed his livery. I'm sure it is Quinton Klumpert, unless I am completely mistaken. And it isn't Quinton Klumpert that didn't change his livery.
Well, coming out of the final chicane towards the end of lap 2, the field continuing to settle down. You can see further up ahead in the pros, Craig Corish looking at the lead that he's got. I mean, you don't really need to tell you the gap at this point, but he is pulling away at least. I think the timing tower may be updating itself a little bit better as we speak. And yes, we are. So we've got the confirmation of the actual race positions for each driver, which is good news. Corish over a second clear of Andy White in second position. Then we've got Tim Reed, the Scotsman, in the Mercedes-Benz in third place. Now, the top three are all part of the same team, the Clark St. James Motorsports squad. And there we see Klumpert going through. That is the it's got Kostridge, isn't it? And it's the McLaren that took a little bit too much curb through the infield.
Yeah, it is. 5-second penalty for car number 37, causing a collision. It's George Reyes for that incident. It's actually Sindre Johansson, not Quinton Klumpert, who changed his livery. So it's actually Sindre Johansson who's not actually here, which is guttering. Every time Sindre changed his livery, he got top three. The week he didn't get top three was at Barcelona. Why? Because he kept the same livery on he did the week before. So I'm hoping that, unfortunately, he's not here to prove us wrong. But there we go on that one. Scotty out in front. This is all he's got to do in this championship. He's got to stay ahead of James Moore. That's it. That's all Scotty's got to do, and he'll wrap up that AM Championship fairly comfortable. Now, this is where the meat and potatoes is going to work. Can George Reyes get to the front of the field? Has he given himself a too big a challenge there, Tom, by starting at the back? Or he has got the pace, he is an alien, he can motor his way through the field? Or do we think he's giving himself just a little bit of a last to first challenge?
I would say he's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time to get by Kostridge and Klumpert, but he can't trip over anyone because it's not one at the early stages, but it's where it can be lost. And Reyes just has to take his time, but that 5-second penalty won't have helped him one bit. We've got confirmation of an incident involving the 17 and the 88. That'll be Moore and Wesley, who I think had been involved in that collision earlier on.
Yeah,
we could maybe find out. I don't know whether he actually saw the incident involving those two, because we did see Jukic go off the circuit, but that was a totally separate incident to what I just mentioned.
Yeah, they did there as well. This is Jeremy Jukic's incident. I don't think Moore played a part in this. I think he just ran wide on his own, takes a lot of curb, back in gets light, and unfortunately round he goes. Not quite sure what happened to James Moore, to be blatantly honest with you, or when it was. If I can get confirmation of a lap, I might be able to find it. George Reyes closing up to the back of Scotty Kostridge. Further back is Harry Seven. He's running side by side at the moment. There he is with James Vardigans as these guys go round the final corner now down that straight. Seven tucks in right behind him. He's going to make a motor run down into turn number one. Surely Seven's going to get the draft down into here. You'll be able to get the job done over James Moore, is he? Or over Vardigans, I should say. Down there we go. Seven pulls out. Vardigans on the right-hand side. No defense whatsoever. Can't give anything back. Goes in hot. Seven tightens it up. Didn't have to tighten it up that much, Tom, but he chose to anyway.
Yeah, well, it's still going side by side coming out of turns 2 and 3. The incident involving the 84 and the 79 now under investigation. That is Loudon.
Joe Loudon, yeah. I'll show you that. It's this one, I think.
This is coming towards the end of the lap here. This is the last braking point of the circuit. Has he done exactly what Reyes did on the opening lap here? I think he probably has done.
Yeah.
It wasn't as clumsy as what Reyes did, but you can't barge people out of the way to gain the position.
No, but then Loudon did something else again here. There's lots of investigations. Poor Connor Pink is full on the mission here. Loudon then gets
It's a racing incident.
He hit the curb.
Yeah, he hit the curb. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
You know,
he did hit the curb on that one, but still, Lottie's in YouTube chat. Let's go, Hayden, she said. So welcome in, Lottie. I hope you are well. As these guys are going to continue to fight it out. Reyes tucked in 8th place, got Quinton Klumpert not far in front of him. However, his gap to the leader at the moment is about 13, give or take. 9 seconds it is actually, not 13 seconds. He's got 9-second gap to the leader, and he's got 1 hour and 22 minutes to go. It should be fairly, in hindsight, Reyes should be able to get there, right?
You think so, but I wouldn't be keen to see what his lap times will be once he's got by Klumpert. That way, we've got a comparison to what the times are from the leaders compared to what Reyes is doing, although Reyes runs in too deep at the end of the back straight. 5-second time penalty for the 84, which
Raymond's
is...
Van Zutphen.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, been a bit of a naughty boy, as there's a Mercedes off the side of the circuit there as well. I think that's Simon Darch trying to keep that Merc out the way as everybody else is coming through. He has just been lapped, of course. Harry 7 is in the mix, but he's got Vardigans, who's got a group of Raymond Van Zutphen, Mark Wesley, Gareth Newton and Mark Ossier, all in not, well, I'd say not very far behind him. 5-second penalty for car number 28. That is Jeremy Jukic, isn't it?
Oh, collision.
Happened actually, Raymond Van Zutphen, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, this will be a totally separate one to what he's been penalised for here.
Oh, was that Mark Wesley? It was Wesley.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Wesley's just ahead of Suf, and then Wesley lost positions as a consequence of the contact. I think that's a tricky one for the stewards, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we've only got one. Poor old Connor Pink. He's got a lot of work to do here as well. Sam Berry at this moment in time in behind Hayden Young in behind Reed in behind White, and White in behind Corish. It's a Clark St James 1, 2, 3. Send it there from Hayden Young, and then Sam Berry from Fresh Rubber is sitting in 5th place, and Harry Hartley Price at the moment in behind him. Harry in a new livery there. I wonder why that livery's not loaded up here as well. So yeah, interesting there from Harry Hartley Price.
Well, Clumper's got that slowdown, which will make it a lot easier for Reyes to get by, and Reyes does get by him eventually. Although Clumper feels he's got better ideas there, but he still had that slowdown next to his name. But now that Reyes has got him out of the way, we can now focus on the lap times that Reyes is potentially going to set, because he's carved his way through the field so quickly. He can now get on with his own race. We've got the 88 and the 84 now being under investigation. That's Wesley and Zutphen.
Yeah, that was the one we just watched. So we'll see what comes out of that one. Maybe Raymond Van Zutphen will get more time penalties than he's already had. I think he's got a 5-second already. He has. So we'll see what comes of that. I think that may have been on Van Zutphen for diving, but we'll see and decide what these guys are, what Connor hands out, of course. Our chief loan steward in the booth. Don't forget, if you are here, guys, say hi, let us know, because we do have an hour and 20 minutes remaining. We have plenty of time to respond to your comments. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you think is going to win, who you think is going to come out on top, who's going to be champion. Is it going to be Kostrick in the AMs? He's got to stay ahead of Moore. Is it going to be the likes of Harry Hartley Price in the pros? He's got to stay ahead of the guys behind him, Andy White, George Reyes and Hayden Young. So it's going to be interesting here whether or not Harry Hartley Price can do this, because at the moment he's behind Hayden Young and he's behind Andy White as well, and he's got George Reyes going to be coming up on him very quickly.
5-second time penalty for Mark Wesley. He was responsible for the incident with Van Zutphen.
Yes.
I don't think we can feel surprised by that, because he did come from quite a bit back and it wasn't his corner.
Yeah, he come apparently from 3 turns back. So there is Mark Wesley. And then he just literally launches it. Doesn't make the apex, doesn't make any part of the racetrack, and unfortunately puts Van Zutphen into the grass. But Sam Berry now, Hayden Young in behind that, then Tim Reed, Andy White and Corish. Reed in the Merc, Andy White in the Aston Martin, Craig Corish in his favourite BMW. There is Reyes as well, so Hartley Price needs to be a little bit careful at this moment in time, because it is not in a good shape for Harry Hartley Price, considering what's he going to score? 1, 2, 4, 5. He'll only scored 21 points, which will put him on 199, especially if Reyes wins the race. He'll be on 200. So yeah. This is going to be very spicy, Tom, I think, coming down to the final few laps here of this race.
I would think so. I'm just paying attention to the lap times that Reyes has been posting. He did a 1:24.0, so he's setting identical lap times to the 2 cars ahead of him that are Berry and Hartley Price as they head over the line here. So we'll see an update on those times. So it's high 23s and low 24s that the leads have been setting. What does Reyes do? 23.8. So he's actually quicker than the next 4 cars ahead of him.
And they're doing it with draft. He hasn't got any. He's got no draft, Reyes, has he? He's all on his lonesome. He's just driving around, and he's literally still faster than these guys, all wrapped up in draft. But you see how they take the corner. Watch how Reyes takes his corner. He takes a lot of curb. There you go, literally straight halfway over the curb there, and still comes out the other side. So a great job from Reyes. Is now closing in on Harry Hartley-Price. He's got about 7.6 seconds, and at the moment it's pulling out 3-4 tenths per lap over him. So if this is I tell you what though, if Reyes does come through and win this race, and he wins the championship, it's got to be, I don't know, even a massive kick in the teeth for these drivers, because we did warn him, me and Alex, after about when he took his second win as well, which would have been at Le Mans, and they all kind of moved out the way and let him go past, and he took the win easily, and we warned them then, if they keep doing that, Reyes is going to take this win again. And I feel if Reyes hadn't started from the back, he would have been in a completely different position. But they all got warned, and I got bashed for it in the Discord. It was like, no, he was quicker, there's no point fighting, yada yada yada. And now he's on for taking a championship. I bet they're wishing that they should have got their elbows out when they could have done.
Well, that's why you have to play the long game here and actually fight it, because you never know. You think about what's going on in Formula 1 at the moment. I mean, a few races ago, Max Verstappen was 111 points off the championship lead. Now he's 40 points off the championship lead with 5 races and 2 sprints left. So you don't want to be too complacent with who you're battling, because you never know how it could play out come the end of the season, really, and heading into this last race. Reyes still has some work to do, though. He's got 7.5 seconds to make up on this 4-way battle for 3rd place. But you have to say, he's got a lot of confidence. He's got the car underneath him.
Oh, dude, the guy is absolutely motoring, and yeah, 7.5 seconds now, so it is coming down. Hartley-Price, Berry. Hartley-Price has got a lot of figuring out to do here. He's either got to really get the pace up and go past these cars, or he's got to sit in and hope that they're going just as quick, because last time out it was a 24.02 for Hartley-Price, 24.14 for Reyes, so not a big gain. He actually lost time, Reyes, this time, and that could be due to the fact that they've got the draft. But for Hartley-Price, it's going to have to be now or never, and Sam Berry is making it a now moment. He pulls out, then loops back in again, and not a run for Sam Berry there in the lone BMW in this grid as well. And yeah, I've got a funny feeling that these guys are going to have to get a little bit sharpish on with this, Tom, because Reyes has just done a 23.8. Hartley-Price did a 24.02. So another 2 tenths pulled out from Reyes there.
And we've got to think about the pit stops further down the line in this race, James. When will the leads decide to pit in? Well, Reyes has got a little bit more to play with, actually, because he hasn't got anything to lose from where he is at in regards to his race position. Whereas you can see all these in your picture, they'll be a little bit more unsure of what to do.
I think this is the thing, because when they did the 90-minute practice race, we ended up with 2 pit stops. They didn't get to 1. It wasn't possible with their 60%. They just didn't get there. It was always 2 stops. And I think this one is going to be the same. But the question will be is how are they going to manage it? Now, I'm rubbish at fuel calculations, fuel saving, anything along them lines, right? I just drive flat out and that's it. I run out, it tells me I've run out, I go in and I fill up and it tells me how much I'm putting in, and then I carry on again and I run it out again. Now, these guys are a little bit more calculated for that. So whether or not they're going to sit back and work out and go, okay, well, I only need to do, I don't know, 15 laps or 20 laps, and then I can go in and then my second stop's going to be another 20 laps or whatever it will be. I'm going to find it interesting, because for me, I'm just rubbish at fuel saving non-stop, Tom, and I'm sure these are not. But how would you play this? If you were sat here now, if I was Hartley-Price, I would go for probably another 15 minutes. And if I haven't made any inroads, I might look at diving in to get my first stop out of the way.
And when you're stuck in traffic like this, you've got to play your cards right and actually think, right, if I pit in now, yes, you may risk coming out in traffic, but there's a chance of an undercut because you're going to be on the fresher rubber.
That's another thing. When do they take tyres? Do they take tyres in the first stop? Do they take tyres in the second stop? Do they use the grip of the tyres in the first stop to get them to the second? There's so many things that's playing on their mind here that it's just all about how are they going to manage it? How are you going to comprehend what's going to happen? Because you get one bit wrong, Reigns is going to come at you straight away. And that's the guy they want to avoid.
And none of the top 6 did a 123, all of which did 124s. What does Reyes do? Well, Reyes was the only driver from those 7 pro drivers to have done a 123. So he's slowly but surely gaining. Sorry, I cut away from your question a little bit there, James. I might have to repeat that.
It don't matter because at the end of the day, there's lots to take into consideration. There was a mistake there. There was a mistake from Tim Reed, and now he's got Hayden Young tucked in right behind him. Reed got that turn 3 and 4 all completely wrong. Now Young's got an opportunity to make the move. Is he going to be able to make it? Nope, not this time. Hard on the brakes. He's got it wrong again. Reed drifts a little bit wide. Young's going to get him on the exit. Can he get him on the next left-hander? No, not this time. Is he going to dive up for the right? Yes.
He's got to go for it.
He's got to go for it. Reed left the door open for him twice. Now Reed's going to try to cut back on that looping right-hander right the way round. Reed's going to have the inside, though. Young's not going to be careful here because Berry's going to try and take this free wide, is he? Nope. Young goes from gaining 1 to losing 2. Berry's just got it all wrong. He's got off the side of the circuit, and Hayden Young comes back through. Him and Reed had some form of drama.
And all of this has played into the hands of Reyes, who's got by, and I think one of which went round at this corner. It was Tim Reed that went straight on. He went through an alternative route.
Yeah, he went round a roundabout. I'm quite sure that's a thing. I didn't realise that.
I think it was a hairpin, JP. More like a hairpin rather than a roundabout.
Mate, whatever way he was going, he ain't going to get there anyway. His racetrack went the other way. So, yeah, let's... poor old Tim Reed. He's gone from being right up there to last in the AMs, in the pros now. Reyes has gained positions, 5.6 seconds, 5.5 seconds to Sam Berry. Mark Wesley has had some drama. He's been up the side of the circuit. And
what's he done here?
I think he's just going to overcook that. Yep. Oh, and he hit the wall.
Yeah.
What is your cockpit doing now, though? Oh, thinking about me. You're on the right turn. Straighten up. Oh,
the other taking damage from that.
No, his bow is broken. He can't get it stopped. Nothing. Look. So, yeah, he's broke on that one. Information in the background. Scotty Kostrick has to finish within the top 4, take the championship of the AMs. At the moment, he is sitting in second with James Moore, mind you, not very far behind. Moore might have a bit between his teeth here because there is Scotty Kostrick. So Scotty's got to finish 5th or below, and Moore's going to have to win, I feel, to take this championship away from him.
Well, he's got to get by him, hasn't he, James Moore? I mean, looking at the standings as we speak in the AMs, considering all the permutations and this, that, and the other,
James Moore came into try and do maths. Are you going to try and do maths?
Well, you said you weren't very good at maths, James, so I thought I'd do the honours and do you a favour there.
I'd suck. Well, I'm trying to talk, work, press buttons, and everything. I can't, they say men can't multitask. I can't do 6 things at the same time. Stop me. It ain't happening.
Well, to put it in simpler terms, Connor's just saying that Moore has to win and for Scott to finish 5th or lower, essentially.
Oh, well, there you go. That makes our maths a lot easier. There we go. Job done. Now work out the pros for us, Connor Pink, and we're made up on that one, because now we don't have to worry. Scotty Kostrick's got to finish 5th or above, and Moore's definitely got to win. If I was James Moore, though, I'd even look at this and think, can I sit and save fuel and stretch this out a little bit and stay close to Scotty Kostrick? Or would you overtake him, but then if you overtake him, you use more fuel? So, yeah, I'd be a little bit more savvy to sitting behind, to be honest with you.
Well, without the use of maths, we can tell you that Corish and White are nose to tail, James. They're in a fight for the lead now. You can see that the gap is 2 to 3 tenths. It was below 2 tenths at one point, but those two seem to have refrained from fighting with each other, and understandably so, because they're part of the same team, those two, and they don't want to fight it out too much. We're now on that 17. We are 23 minutes into this one, and we have had a few incidents here and there, and a few penalties been dished out, but it's not like we've had major incidents that's had an effect on how the championship can be decided. This is Mark Wesley here, who's presumably going to have another incident unless he decides to just stop on the track.
Yeah, he jumped straight back to pit lane. I thought there was an incident with Marc Ossier, so I wondered if Ossier and Wesley had come together. But it does look like Ossier may have just done this all on his own. He did. It goes on the grass, rolls up the grass there, unfortunately for him. Joe Loudon's been off the side of the circuit, come back. Now, my fear is with this, is we've seen this scenario multiple times with these cars, with the Clarkson James cars, and they end up playing follow a leader, and they still end up losing to Reyes as well. And the problem is that they end up not putting the faster guy in the front of the queue. That's the problem, and they don't work out who's the quickest throughout this race. Throughout the race is quick enough, and it has cost them this season as well. Melanie Young, Hayden for the win this week, says fingers crossed. Well, he's in third. He's in with an opportunity. So they need to get this team order situation right. I don't know who's quick. I don't know which one of them is quicker. If it's Corish, if it's White, or if it's Hartley Price, because they've all jumped around from racetrack to racetrack. But I think that for me, it would be, okay, my average on a lap time is a 24, yours is a 24.5, so I should be in front of you. That's how I generally would work it out.
Well, there is your measure of how you would play it, but it's how the drivers want to play it. It's simply Clarkson James rules at the moment. I don't know, I keep thinking of like papaya rules in the back of my head. I'm just trying to find a description of what the name of the rules they're going to have over at the Clarkson James Motorsport squad. Either way, Corish and White are simply in tandem in first and second. Hayden Young's a little bit further back, just a couple of seconds adrift for those two. And he's got Hartley Price for company. And now as we... that was a mistake actually from Corish there. He didn't take that line through the last chicane very well, did he? And there's an incident involving the number 6 and the 79. That will be Vardigans and Loudon. Loudon has already been involved in incidents so far in this one, and he's been involved in another one here. What's he managed to do?
Turn across his nose.
Yeah.
Didn't give him enough room, unfortunately, for Loudon, and he got his nose turned as well. Information on the pros. If Reyes wins, Harry has to finish 5th or above to win the championship. If Reyes wins, Andy White has to finish 2nd or above to win it there as well. So is that still the same case? If Andy finishes 2nd, Reyes wins, does Hartley Price have to finish 5th? We're just getting the full information, otherwise we're going to end up a little bit confused here. But James Moore is still within touching distance of Scotty Kosciuszko. I do believe he's saving fuel here because he isn't even remotely trying. Yes, that is the same scenario. So if George Reyes wins, Andy has to finish 2nd to win the championship, and Harry Hartley Price has to finish above 5th to win the championship, if you understand.
We'll come back to the championship thing a little bit later. We're looking at James Moore sitting in the final podium position in 3rd in the AMS. But he's got the Scott Kostrich in front of him. Kostrich, who is trying to fend off Moore this time around. And he's doing a fine job of it so far. We have to say, comparing the lap times between those two, they are setting 1 minute 25s of those in the AMS. Vardigans has got to slow down to his name, which won't help his cause. We're not seeing any major battles for position. I mean, the closest battle as we got is this one, and also the battle for the lead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couple of battles here. Battle for the lead is fluctuating, and again, they generally don't fight. We've seen this before with the Clark boys up front. They generally don't fight. They sit in and around. The fight's going to come from Hayden Young, maybe from Harry Hartley Price. Reyes is now there. He's now within 4-second ranges of Sam Berry. Loudon's in his own little battle again. That's with Vardigans. Vardigans is just coming out of going in pit lane, I should say, sorry. But these two up here don't really fight. And this is where a lot of the hold-up comes from, and how this can all go a little bit Pete-tong. Harry has to finish 6th to lose the championship no matter who wins. There we go. So as long as
He's
Harry
running in-
finishes in the top 5.
Yeah, well, he's running in 4th place right now, so I don't think it's something he needs to worry about this moment in time. It's a warning for the 79 for the collision he was involved in. That was when he turned in on it was Osio, wasn't it? Or was it Vardigans? I can't
Vardigans
remember.
and Lauda, yeah.
Yeah, so
Warning for Lauda for causing the collision. Yeah.
well,
that
he
was
turned
right.
in on it and he lost time. He
Yeah.
lost time anyway because of the collision he had, so that's probably why he wasn't given a further penalty. It would have been a double whammy otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that one. So fair play. Vardigans and Van Zutphen both in pit lane. Moore still in behind Kostrick. White is still there behind James. Moore's now dived in pit lane. So I'm not quite sure what he was doing, but it weren't anything compared to what we said there, was it? Because we thought he was fuel saving. He wasn't. He didn't really make a move, and he didn't do anything, and then dives in pit lane completely out of sync with Scotty Kostrick in front of him. So I'm not quite sure what Moore's on here.
It feels to me like it's a bluff. The way he's going about his business, he's trying to make everyone think that it's either one thing or it's another thing, but then he decides to go with plan C, D, or how many plans he had in his locker really before this race had started. But he's in the pit lane now. Is James Moore gunning for an AM podium today? And you can see the leaders there that they're pretty much chased now by Hayden Young, because Hayden Young was about a couple of seconds off these two, and now he's under a second behind them.
Draft is playing an effect here. I think for James Moore, I think he's hired a Ferrari crew chief because he was a little bit early on the pit there. Not entirely sure what the deal was. That has actually really confused me, because I really did think he was saving fuel for a longer stint, but clearly not. As Cornish Andy White is still fighting out, Hayden Young still in behind, and then Hartley Price and Sam Berry. Reyes 3.2 seconds closing up now as well. He's coming at quite a rate of knots here. He can see them as well, which probably helps him drive a little bit faster. I can't understand why that does that, but it does. And he's going to be motored up. How long do we reckon before he actually gets to them? Because last time out, 23.8, 24.1 for Sam Berry. That's another 3 tenths.
Well, he's taking his time with this one, is Reyes. It's not rushing it by any means, but I am concerned as to how far he's going to take this first stint compared to the leaders, because the fact that he had to get by some of the traffic at the back will have cost him some tyre life and fuel, because when you battle with other drivers, you then consuming more fuel. When you're easing off the pace or not travelling as fast as you know you can go, that's an example of fuel saving. Yeah. And Ray is clearly just playing the long game here, just nailing the apexes as he so needs to do. Maybe watch his gear shifting, James, because that could tell you how soon he's switching gears compared to how he would be if he was doing like a hot lap. So on the speedometer, you saw the red there, so clearly he had the revs quite high before he switched gears. But maybe on the lower gears, maybe on the green or the yellow, that's when he's shifting up. So he's in second gear now.
Yellow. Oh, yellow.
That was yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not taking it all the way up into the red before he shifts. Yellow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's varied, though. I think it depends on where he is on the racetrack. 3.4 seconds. These guys up here are going to have to get this sorted out. Otherwise, his Clarkson and James boys could likely lose both of these positions, which is not good. For Hayden Young, he could end up picking up the pieces here, because these guys are kind of almost tripping over each other again.
We're over a third of the way through this one. Hayden Young has now got White and Corish in his way here. This is the closest it's been since the start, really. That was a poor exit, really, from White, really. And it's to... You could just see he's almost touching the grass there. He has to sacrifice some speed to avoid touching it. And that's going to give Hayden Young a really, really good go here. But is he going to go to the outside? He may have to go to the outside, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be later, right? Later.
Does he get it so down, though? Just.
Yes.
That was a good overtake.
Hayden Young goes through, and that's these guys at Clarkson and James tipping over each other again. And now they've just tripped over once more. Quinton Klumper in pit lane. Tim Reed has been in pit lane and already done here. Andy White's now in behind Hayden Young. Young's got a Hartley Price. Berry's got behind him. 3.4 back is Reyes. Little bit of a nose poke from White. Didn't manage to get it done. Hayden Young holds on. He's now going to go again for Hayden Young. We'll see how he gets on here once more. Going to be an interesting 56 minutes, I think. And I still believe that there's quite a lot of pit stops still to come.
It's been a good race so far from Corish in the lead. And Hayden Young is doing his best to keep up. Now that he's got by Andy White. Harry Hartley Price running in 4th position. Looking good for the championship as it stands, but there's still a long way to go. Corish in pit road.
Yep. And that's going to put Young in front of the field. It's about right, 35 minutes. Quentin Klumpert's going to come out right into traffic, bro. You are going to have to be mightily careful. You do use your brain. Well done. Slowed right up, allowed them guys to come through. However, he is going to come out right in front of George Reyes. Reyes is going to see in the background. There he is. He's going to go after Klumpert. Mike Ossier in with a podium shout at the moment, sitting fourth in class.
He is, but we have seen some pit stops from some of which in the AMs. I don't think Ossier has pitted. I think Klumpert's the highest out of all those in the AMs to have made a pit stop. And he was in the lead in the AMs before any pit stops took place. And now we've got more pit stops going on. I think that was Loudon going into the pit lane in the foreground on that picture we've just seen. And he is in the pit lane now, attempting. I think he has to take a 5-second time penalty as well because he was involved in a collision. There's been a number of collisions we've seen so far, but we do our best to keep up with who's got what. But Loudon's in pit lane, and he'll be coming back out relatively soon. That was Corish coming out of the pit lane. It was not the best of positions, really, in terms of the traffic, is it?
No, because he's come out right behind Mark Ossier, and he kind of almost wanted to jump Mark beforehand. So probably could have got to do with coming out a little bit further in front there. Could have done. But unfortunately for Craig Corish, he didn't. Hartley Price, Berry and Reyes all in pit lane together, literally all in the pit lane together. There's going to be a battle of who's going to come out. Time penalties are done post-race. Reyes is up on the blocks. The other two are not even stopped yet. Hartley Price up, Berry up. So they're all going to tyres, but the question is which way are the tyres going to be? Is it going to be just fronts, just rears, just lefts, just rights? Or is it going to be all four?
Well, judging by at least one of those cars, it feels like they're changing all 4 of them. But we'll see, judging by the timing of the pit stop, because that will determine how many tyres or which tyres they've replaced and which ones they've kept on. They've done relatively about the same lap times of each other, I think, JP.
Look at Berry and Hartley Price. Hartley Price got the jump. Berry went in behind him. Reyes is now very, very close to these guys indeed. George Reyes, that's Hartley Price. That's, unfortunately, that is Simon Darch. Kind of locked in no man's land at the moment. He don't really know where to go. Just run it out wide and hope for the best, Simon, because that is one of them scenarios where you're just kind of stuck there.
It's going to be a lonely race here for Simon Darch, who's been at the back in that Mercedes for almost the whole race. 37 minutes into this one, we've got Hayden Young and Andy White next into the pit lane.
Yeah. More people diving in here as well. Gareth Newton, Mark Ossier's on their way out. Newton's going to be ahead of Ossier. Young is just in. Andy White is in. Ossier's just leaving pit lane. Harry Seven's just coming in the background. Where is Craig Corish? He's a long way back. Hayden Young needs to get in and out here. He needs to get in and out quite quickly. He's down. There is Corish. There is Young. It is going to be taking it straight to the wire here. Corish is going to come over the line. I think he should have it. He should have it. Oh, do you know what? I don't know. Oh, he did. Hayden Young comes out in front of Kerry Corish. Andy White comes out in front of Hartley Price. And Reyes. Reyes is climbing all over Hartley Price now as well. So Reyes has managed to catch up with this pack. There's a penalty for Andy White. There is a penalty for Andy White.
That'll be for speeding in the pit lane, James.
Do you know what, though? I don't think it was. I think he's cut the white line because he got it on the exit. If you watch his exit on the corner, I think he actually cuts the white line. Yeah, he's the wrong side of the white line. So I think he's just he copped that penalty straight after he exited the pit lane. So Andy White, unfortunately, in pit lane. Corish Young, side by side, unsafe pit exit. Thank you very much.
So when you say the white line, do you mean the one on the right-hand side or the left-hand side that feeds back onto the circuit?
So that you've got the one. So we'll have a look at it. Give me a second. Let these points play out just for 2 minutes. I just want to see these down into turn one, and I'll try and show you where the line is. Basically, there's 2 lines down into turn one. So pit lane's on the right-hand side, and when you come out of the pit exit up here, there's the cone. You have to be to the right-hand side, the left-hand side of the cone here, there, on the first white line, and then rejoin the track. You can't be over the white line to the left-hand side of the blue line. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
Right, hold on.
But there is...
So let me have a look. I'll show you here. So there's Andy White there. Now I'm going to slow it down when he comes out of pit lane. Now, where the blue cone is.
Yeah.
Now, as he comes out of this is where he gets it all a little bit wrong. Now,
he touches I think he touches the blue cone, doesn't he?
He touches the white line there. And I think he has to be more to the right-hand side of that white line to be able to then exit the pit lane cleanly. See,
right, I see where you're coming from.
Hayden Young did the same thing. But Hayden didn't cop the penalty, which is really, really why it's sometimes very confusing here about it. Because if you watch Hayden's exit, he's going to do the same thing as Andy White, but in a different style. There you go. And then he goes out. So it is a little bit confusing, I've got to be honest. We'll let Connor come and type it out and explain it to us as George Reyes and Harry Hartley Price continue in their fight. Help me out, Connor, on that one, because I'm pretty sure they both took the same line there. Hayden was on the line exactly. Andy White was to the left of the white line, wasn't he? So it's very fine balance there, Tom, if you understand now.
Well, George Reyes is running in 4th place. He's got Hartley Price in front. Now, the leaders have made they've made their first pit stop so far. Reyes has come through nicely into 4th place. Hartley Price, as it stands, is doing enough to take the pro title. But Reyes will want to demote him further down the order. Reyes needs to win this one, and for Hartley Price to be 5th or lower, and he had to go defensive there, did Hartley Price, and Reyes, he moved one way and then the other, and he won't be able to get through there, I think. George, you have to wait a little bit longer, but Hartley Price is getting his elbows out and making it as difficult as possible for Reyes to get through here.
He has to. That's the problem. He has to make it as difficult as possible. Because if he doesn't, Reyes is going to go through, take the victory. And Hartley Price hasn't got much leeway. He's got Berry in behind him. Lottie's on there going, Hayden, get him. Says as well, chasing down Craig Corish. And Simon Dutch has had some more drama. But this is the problem. If Hartley Price now lets Reyes through, Berry may also come and get him as well. So look, Reyes trying to make the gap on the inside. Barry's got to try and go around the outside. Reyes swaps to the right. He's going to sweep round him. He'll have the inside for the next corner. Hartley Price has got to hold it. Can't hold it. Reyes tries to come out. They come out side by side. Hartley Price has got the inside for the next one. Reyes running too wide out, around the outside again. He's going to have the inside. There you go. Straight across him. Jobs are good. And Hartley Price loses to Sam Berry as well.
I'm amazed that Reyes didn't get a slowdown.
He's done that all the way through the race.
I know, but this is the thing with some of the corners around here. It's just like you see them exceed track limits, but for some reason they just don't get slowdowns, which I find quite baffling.
It's ridiculously inconsistent. It's like the Red Bull Ring. It's like Spa. You know, they are ridiculously inconsistent. I think you know they need to draw a line right on the edge of the limit of the race circuit, and then pull the whole line 1 meter back, so everybody knows that they've got a meter past the white line before they can get a slowdown or before they get an off track or something like that. Because some of them are completely ridiculous. Look at the Red Bull Ring, turn 7 and 8. You can take all and more curb on the right hand side on the exit, but you can't take any of the, you know, turn 3, I think it is, down in Schlossgau. Andy White's just had some form of drama and has now just quit back to pit lane. So I don't know if he's crashed. I'm coming around this final corner, or Andy White has just decided enough is...
Touched the grass.
Oh, he did, yeah, smacked it hard. Poor old Andy White, it's all falling apart for him there. So yeah, I think pit exit... slowdown lines are horrible. They're well ridiculous. Look, he takes all of that. They're all starting to now as well. Berry followed his line. Harry Hartley-Price was a little bit later, followed his line as well. So I think Reyes' gig's up almost.
We're going towards the halfway point in this one. So far, so good for Craig Corrish. After the first round of stops, Hayden Young was able to protect his second place after he got by Andy White's earlier on. Andy White effectively out of this one now, unless he decides to rejoin this one and use this as a test session, even though we are coming towards the end of the season in this one. In the AMS, Quinton Klumper is leading the way by 12 seconds over James Moore, who's having a good one here, ahead of Scott Kostrich, who was running in second place before the stops, is now in third position.
Going to get very, very close here. I think Reyes is probably praying that he could escape these two. If he can escape, I have a feeling he might be on his way a little bit. 23.8 for him, 23.83. No, 23.83 for Sam Berry, 23.78 for George Reyes, 23.93 for Hartley-Price. The leaders are 23.9 and a 23.82 in favour of Hayden Young. So they're keeping up pace, these five, and they're not really gaining on these two. But if these two get in a battle, that 5.6 seconds window they've got could end quite drastically.
Hayden Young knows he needs to take this. Well, he needs to take his time with it, is what I was trying to say there. But looking at the Pro Championship as far as Hayden Young's season is concerned, now we know that he's 30 points, or 20 points rather, off the championship lead. He needs a miracle really from, well, basically to win the race, and for Hartley-Price and a few others to fall by the wayside. So it's a long shot really for Hayden Young to take the honours here today. But as far as the race is concerned, well, that is very much on, because now he's into the slipstream of Craig Corrish, who may get the benefit of a tow from the car ahead of him before he gets to turn one.
Absolutely. Young, I think there's James Vardigan's in front of us. White's in pit lane, Jukic is out, Wesley's out. Question is how quickly are these guys going to jump out of these guys' way? That's what they need to figure out. Not going to be able to do it here. He can get it on the straight, but he isn't really close enough. Over the curb, they're all taking that line now. I think everybody's figured out that you can actually take that line. Young's going to be in behind. You just see him in the bottom right-hand corner of the mirror there. Not quite close enough. That massive whistle of the Porsche. Through the left, now through the right, but still not close enough to Vardigan's. All the while, though, Hayden Young's managed to get closer and closer, and the dirty air coming out of that Aston Martin's making it difficult for the Porsche to get near him.
They're coming towards the oval section again. Two leaders still behind Vardigan's and Van Suffen, who are running in 14th and 15th places respectively. Simon Darch is a lap down from those two. He is the last driver left in this one, but now you can just see that Corrish is getting held up a little, nearly touching the grass, just as what happened to Andy White not too long ago. Is this an opportunity for Hayden Young to take advantage here? Well, Corrish gets by Vardigan's at last. Is Hayden Young going to head through as well? Yes, he does. So they both dispose of Vardigan's at the same time. But this is the tricky thing now in this race where the leaders are coming up to the back markers, which could play their role.
That's the thing. It's Raymond Van Zutphen there. You can see, look, Chorus is just like, get out of the way and please do it quickly. 4.9 seconds now to the guys behind. There's Reyes bringing Sam Berry. There's Hartley Price, who's 5th place at the moment. And as we said on that, George wins. Harry has to finish 5th or above to win the championship. But at the moment, Chorus and Young with 40 minutes to go are having a good old little ding-dong. And I still think there's another pit stop coming because, if it's, as I said, anything like the practice race at 90 minutes, it was definitely 2 stops. So if there is another one coming, they're going to be coming probably within the next 10-15 minutes at the most.
A bit skirmish there through the 3rd to last corner of the racetrack for Craig Corrish as he heads through the last turn before he heads over the line to complete another lap. George Reyes is now 5 seconds off the lead as he continues his pursuit after starting from the back of the grid. Clumpert in the AMS, 13 seconds clear over James Moore, who's 4 seconds clear over Scott Kostrich. Those are your top 3 in the AMS. We've lost Andy White. We've also lost, if you've already mentioned, Jeremy Jukic. And we also lost Mark Wesley, who had been involved in too many shenanigans in this race before going no further.
Absolutely. Problems there for these guys. It does look like Scotty Kostrick is going to wrap up the AMS. He's just got to kind of stay where he is. Scott has got to finish at least 4th in that championship, and he's sitting on the podium at the moment. So a great job from Scotty. It looks like he is going to wrap up the AMS championship, which should be a promotion for him. Andy White looks like he is still in pit lane and has been sat there. I don't think he's coming back out in a hurry, but Craig Corrish and Hayden Young are in a hurry. Going into the right-hander, we've got one more right left before we go on a sweeping right round that start-finish line. And at the moment, Craig Corrish, Hayden Young, and the ones closest. And Reyes is just coming up to the back marker as Vardigans, but I wonder how Hayden Young's going to play this and whether or not that job's going to be strong enough. I think he needs to be closer.
Well, he's got enough time, James. It looks like a kiss against the barrier, actually, along that pit straight there from Hayden Young, which won't necessarily help his cause. But we've still got a second round of pit stops to come. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier about the fuel which these are able to carry for a certain length of the race has forced their hands to do 2 stops each. But we saw that Hayden Young was able to go slightly further compared to, I think, Craig Corrish, because those, I think, didn't they pit at the same time, Corrish and Young? I'm just trying to remember from the timing pages from what we saw.
Corrish lap 24, Young lap 26, Reyes 25, Berry 25, Hartley Price 25. So yeah, they pitted 2 laps apart. Young was on lap 26, Craig Corrish was on lap 24.
So if Young can lengthen the second stint, instead of going for it on Corrish, he can lengthen the second stint a tiny bit further, and he's basically got a tyre advantage. I don't know whether they took tyres or not, or how many tyres they took in their slots. I think they replaced all 4 of them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
they were very.
It's very deceiving because unfortunately we don't get all of that information, and I do wonder if the information was even remotely possible to get, whether or not we can get how many tyres they've changed. But these guys still in behind the back markers. Sam Berry's made a move and has passed George Reyes. 37 and 129 being investigated. That's Berry and Reyes. Not quite sure why it's being investigated, but we'll have a look back at the original overtake. Was there a little bit of push to pass from Sam Berry? Pulls out. A little bit of it getting close. You got to cut across him. Nope. Why are they under investigation? Oh,
A little bit of a tap there. I don't think there was anything wrong with that, unless that was not.
That just wasn't cricket, but I didn't see anything particularly wrong with that at all. 4x for a tap, no further action. Oh. Okay, well, there's no further action for him either, but they did have a good old go. Harry 7 is trying to send Scotty Kostrick down into his 4th place, which is where he needs to be. Gareth Newton's 5 seconds up, 5 seconds behind them, so Scotty's not got to overly worry, but he has just got to make sure he can get around this course without making any dramas. All the while that these three have been fighting, Hayden Young and Craig Corrish pulled out a 6.4 second gap.
Is he going to attempt to go for it on Corrish? Though I don't think he will do this time around. He'd have loved to. I think it would have come off maybe a little bit badly, really, for both Corrish and Young, which would have played into the hands of Sam Berry, who is having a terrific race. But the way things are going, Hartley Price is doing enough to take the title. That was a lot of curve there from Craig Corrish, pushing the boundaries as we so often see. Newton's got a slow down now. I don't know if that's for that particular corner, whether it's elsewhere around the racetrack.
Well, that slowdown's not... No, saying the slowdown, he's still going quicker than... No, he should be going the other way, mate. There you go. He just got it off. 5.3 seconds back now. Berry, Reyes and Hartley Price are all still mixing it up here, but mainly coming from the Reyes-Berry situation. They're trying to clear back markers as quickly as possible. There goes Raymond van Zutphen through the right-hander. It's now going to be Reyes, tries to go around the right, sweeps around the outside of Berry,
Way
gets
too
it
deep.
all completely wrong. Hartley Price goes through, Van Zutphen goes back through, Tom, but trying to stay out of the way in the process.
Yeah, well, it was worth a go, but the execution of trying to get that past him was really poor from Reyes. He just couldn't get the car slowed down. That was... I don't want to sound harsh, but that just looked a little bit... I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words for it, but I probably end up saying that... Yeah, it was a little sloppy. I'll use that one for this particular instance. But now he's down to 5th place thanks to that mistake there from Reyes, and now he has to... basically get back into a rhythm and go again, because now he's behind Hartley Price, who is doing more than enough to take the Pro Championship as it stands. And, you know, we've not got too long left. I mean, we're approaching the hour mark of this one. We've still got over 30 minutes remaining here. We're on lap 39. Craig Corrish has a lead of half a second over Hayden Young. You can smell another victory. And looking at how he's done this season, he's had 1 win so far this campaign. That victory for Hayden Young came at the opening rounds at the Nürburgring.
Very unlucky last time out as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he got overtaken on the final lap coming out of Hockenheim, out the final... Was it Hockenheim? I'm sure... Where was we? No, out of Catalonia, and he spun the car. Him and Reyes had contact coming out of turns 14... on the sweep and the long sweeping right down the start-finish straight. It was a little bit of contact. Reyes come out of the corner. He was sliding. Young come out of the corner. Young was sliding. Reyes caught his slide. Young didn't catch his slide, and Young went round in a circle on the final lap with 2 corners to go. So it was a great battle last time out at Catalonia. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. The last lap, it was absolutely bonkers. So Young was really unlucky last time out. So if he is going to go for this one again and try and get that victory, got to try and get dispatch Craig Corrish first, who's in that BMW.
Well, Corrish has got another...
Sorry, not BMW.
Well, we've seen a swap between Kostrich and Seven. I think they were dicing momentarily, but now Seven is back behind Kostrich. The leaders are coming up to another bet marker. Now that is Joel Loudon, who is running 6th in the AMS so far, but he has that penalty hanging over him, and from what we've been told by Connor, is that penalty will be added to his time at the end of the race and not at a pit stop.
Yep, and the post-race apparently as well. So yeah, but great job from all of these. 32 minutes to go. Craig Corrish, Hayden Young, Sam Berry, Hartley Price and Reyes, and lots more action I'm sure to happen here. Got another pit stop. Michael Cooper, give Reyes a wave on the way past, Sammy. Oh, Michael, you rascal, you devil, as well. And he's talking about Sam Berry giving George Reyes a wave on the way past. There you go. A bit of bants going on in YouTube chat there. What has Hayden got to do here, Tom? How is he playing this? He pitted 2 laps later. He's carrying more fuel. He can go longer. Is he fuel saving to try and go even longer than he did in the first one?
I think that's the plan, because he's sitting behind him, and if he's going to sit behind him and stick to the draft, he may as well back off. Let's pay attention, because we talked about fuel saving earlier. How soon is he shifting up the gears coming out the corners? We'll have a look.
Yeah, so let's bring it up the dashboard. Jump on board.
That's red on there, but we saw it from someone else earlier when they were going through the gears. I think it was Reyes that we spoke about when he was... See, he was at red there as he comes through the penultimate turn. So that was red. That's red. And he was red there.
Hold on, is he going to lift it? No. He takes it all the way to the corner. So he's not even fuel saving a little bit. He isn't lifting into the corner either. So, yeah. He's definitely not fuel saving. There's a meatball for Andy White, but he's been in pit lane since 20... watch this. Andy White's car is probably smoking. He's blown an engine. I think he may have just blown an engine for Andy White. And that's why he's sitting there now with a meatball flag. As Hayden Young jinks to the one side. Craig Corish holds the inside line. Young's going to try and get the exit, which he probably should almost get. Now through the right-hander. Craig Corish just... Is Craig Corish holding on? Or is Hayden Young not really pushing him?
It's difficult to call that one. But we've just been informed by Connor that George Reyes has been coasting through turns 1 and 2.
Oof. Is he though? Let's play this down to turn number 1 and we'll see if we can catch up with George Reyes very, very quickly. Oh, he's too far back. Far back. Have a listen.
He's lifting.
That's difficult because it's...
Well, he definitely lifted on the straight, James. So when they go onto the back straight, coming out the turn 5-6 chicane, listen to the revs as he goes through.
I'll see what he does here. Turn the volume up on my speaker. I don't have cast irons in my ear rolls. Pulls out. He didn't really left then, but then again, he didn't really make a move. So, yeah.
Well, I thought at the beginning of the straight, I thought he lifted a little bit at the beginning of the straight.
Yeah. Maybe, but this second pit stop, I think engine blew up in the pits. I thought he did, Andy, to be honest with you. That's why you've gone puff. Going to turn the car off. I think this next pit stop is going to really mix this up. And it's who's going to take tyres, who's not going to take tyres, how much fuel's going to go in, who's managed to save any, who hasn't saved any. This is going to really mix it up, this one, I think.
Well, Reyes is on the rear of Hartley Price on the pit straight here. Does he go for it, though? I'm worried for Reyes, because if he's stuck behind... Well, he's not going to be stuck behind if he's attempting to go for it here. Can he get it slowed down? He can get it slowed down. Hartley Price leaves him room, and Reyes he has to tuck back in behind. He'll have to go again.
Yeah. Right, is staying in behind Hartley Price at the moment. Don't forget, Harry's got to finish in top 5 if Reyes wins. I don't know why you're flashing Sam Berry there, fella. He ain't the one you've got to worry about. He is not the one you've got to worry about whatsoever. It is the man behind you. Young and Corey still close together. They're not really making any inroads on anything at the moment. Young seems to be getting just about close enough. And then I don't think he can carry the speed coming out of the corner because he's got half a second again. Reyes and Hartley Price. All right. Are you now defending for your life for Hartley Price, knowing that you need 5th? Or are you just sitting back thinking he can go, he cannot go? What do you reckon?
Well, he can't afford to crash out of this one. I don't see Reyes winning this one.
You don't?
I really, really don't. No, because he's got too much ground to make up. And he's going to have to go overtake him now, in my opinion, does Reyes. Yeah, he's going past him now, but I think he's lost too much time. He gets on the curb. He needs to get alongside, get his nose in front by the time he gets to turn 2 before the corner closes out. He's alongside, and Reyes does get by Hartley Price. But I think from the moment he got alongside, Hartley Price sensibly yielded and allowed Reyes to go. But I stand by the fact that Reyes has got too much work to do to win this one.
Oh, 26 minutes to go. Is this going to be Reyes on the racetrack not taking the victory? But did he do that to himself by starting not qualifying almost, because he was a long way back there away from these guys? And I do wonder if that may have just possibly cost him. I don't know, he's got too confident. The guys have all of a sudden come up and given him a little bit more griefs. I don't know. What do you reckon? Did he just do it to himself, do you think?
I think with qualifying, you just go there and get a lap in there. And it saves you having to fight with the AM drivers in the early phases. I'm not saying that it would have made a great deal of difference because he carved his way through quite quickly on those. But now he's got... I think he's got too much to do. He'll get by Sam Berry at some point. But if you look at the gap that he needs to make up on Hayden Young and Craig Corish, unless Corish and Young get into some form of tangle in the closing laps, I just don't see how Reyes is going to do it.
Well, hold on. I think Reyes had connection problems during quali. I don't think it was his intention to start from the back, says Andy White. That could explain the non-qualifying on a round where he could win the championship. That could explain it. So if it is connection issues, then yeah, that would be fully justified. Because to be fair, the person leading this race is Craig Corish, and he's not even in this championship fight going into this race. He'll finish on 190 if he wins this one. And it means Harry Hartley Price has only got to get 12 points, which is, well impossible. The lack of pros that are in here, he can get that. He can get a minimum, I think it's 21 minimum points. So he'll already do that. But Hartley Price has to finish where he is to make sure he can get that. So if Andy White wins, Harry has to finish 4th. Well, Andy White ain't going to win because Andy's out. So that ain't going to matter. So, yeah. Why is there one driver that's red? I have no idea, TSB. I can't see that. Sam's mission is to slow Reyes down as much as possible. Oh, okay. Well, if Reyes clears him, he ain't going to be slowing anything down, to be honest with you. So...
Answering that question is, are you talking about the timing tower that's showing that it's in red on Reyes?
Oh, yeah, if you mean the box, then yes, it's who I'm selected.
Yeah, so that explains it. But if you want to know whether Reyes is a pro or an AM, he's in a pro. So that answers your question.
Yeah, Simon Darch getting there as well. Young and Corish. Oh, they were side by side at one point coming out of that corner. Oh, okay. No, now I know what you mean. Sorry, wasn't quite there. Corish there. Don't forget, Corish is still in a Porsche. The Porsche can kill you as soon as look at you at times. So Corish has done well to hold this car, and it is a very tough, slippery circuit. Hayden Young's now tucked in. Corish tightened up that last corner. He should have opened that up because Hayden Young's going to get the run down into turn number 1. Oh, he's opened up the door. Go the other way. Go the other way. The door's like wide open. Dude, you waiting for an invite from the Queen? What's going on? The door was wide open, wasn't it?
I'd have thought he'd gone for it, unless he's thinking more about the pit stops rather than fighting with Corish at this point.
Oh. And the door was wide open for Hayden Young there. He can't. The door was wide open. He can't wait. He can't wait. I don't think Sam Berry's going to have a choice here, Wookie. I understand what you're saying, and he is blatantly defending like crazy and doing this on purpose, but now he's going to be in trouble. Reyes nearly goes again. There's back markers all involved in this. Reyes can block Berry in here behind James Vardigans if he ain't careful. He can use him and Marc Ossier and block him in and even nearly end each other's races.
Yeah, that was very, very nearly a concertina.
The problem is Vardigans and Ossier are fighting for position, so they're going to go for it.
Well, the pros have made light work of those now. Corrish is in pit lane, James.
Great Corrish in pits. That leaves Hayden Young to keep going. None of these guys are going in pits. Here we go. Watch this. Reyes is going to close in 2 tenths at the moment. Down is going to come to 1. It's going to come down rapidly. Reyes in that Ferrari. Berry on the defense. Big old defense. Defending harder than the Jose Mourinho football team there is Sam Berry. Parking the bus, should we say. You got to give him room, Sam. Sam, you got to give him room. He's muscled his way. Now running side by side. Sam Berry, big old defense. Reyes sweep around the outside again. Is he going to try and get the inside? He is. Oh, Sam chops his nose off, tightens up the exit. Why did they do this, Wookie? In the 4 races where they rolled over like a dachshund getting their belly tickled. We wouldn't have had this drama in the final race of the season if they did this at the beginning. Reyes pulls the double swap back on Berry. Berry falls for it. Reyes goes through. He did it with a double blinker position there. He moved to the right, faked him to the left, went through George Reyes. But if they did this 4 races ago, we wouldn't have been in this situation. They wouldn't have to worry about it. That's the thing, Tom.
It felt like the Ferrari was more confident on the brakes. Did you see them go through turn 4 and the way Reyes... He was so late on the brakes compared to Berry. Got alongside. I actually thought it was going to pull off that overtake around the outside before they even got to the that quick chicane towards the back straight.
Yeah, no.
That was remarkable.
Yeah, great racing from both of them. Sam was playing fluttering on the edge of space. I can tell you that much at one point. Don't flash your lights. No need. You're going to do it. You've got to do it on the racetrack, Berry. You've held him up long enough. Now you got to show us your pace and stay with him, because at the moment Reyes could just motor away here and it could just be game over. Reyes is now going to be closing 9.3 seconds on Hayden Young. He's got second place. He's got about... Oh, hold on. What has he got, the Corrish? He's got 40 seconds to Craig Corrish. I think that's got to go a little bit more. Pit lane for Oh, it's a long pit lane, isn't it? Minute 8, minute 9. So... Clean racing from Reyes, getting aggressive on the turns. Yep, TSB, you're all right. They had a great little fight here. And if the thing is as well, if Sam Berry's not 2.5 tenths away from Reyes at any point on any straight, he ain't getting there. He's got to be 2.5 tenths on the exit. Otherwise, he's just not going to get there, Tom, at this moment in time. We could see Reyes now motor on and bring that gap down. Hayden Young's in pit lane as well.
Yeah, so Reyes decides to stay out there. Berry and Hartley Price come in. Now, this is a chance for Reyes to lengthen the second stint here. I don't know how much fuel he's got left.
Well, he pitted on lap 25. We are now on 51. Don't forget, he sat behind them guys for quite a while for George Reyes. So we may have been able to get a couple of laps of fuel at the most out of them. So Reyes there now. Kostrick's in the pit lane as well. 7 Newton. Klumpert's jumped Kostrick. He's in the arms. Scotty's got to come out. Scott's got to finish in 4th place, basically. And James Moore needed to win. So unfortunately, Moore's down in 5th in class, but there's a couple of people in front. Still, no, yeah, 7 and Newton have still got to take their second stop, so that's not going to be done quite yet. Reyes is there. Where is Hayden Young? What is the gap? 39 seconds. I don't think he's got long enough to go in and come out again, but if he stays where he is, he might be able to pick Craig Corrish. But it isn't him that's the problem. It's Harry Hartley Price, and that's a 55-second gap.
As it stands, even if Reyes was to win this race, Hartley Price will still take the title in the pros. But Reyes is in. I didn't think he would go that much further, but I'm curious to know how long of a pit stop this is going to be, because we've seen shorter pit stops from those that have just come in, and I imagine Reyes is going to have to do the same here. He would want to try and do a shorter one, but the fuel would have only taken him as far as it would have done.
It's such a long pit lane. Such a long pit lane. Reyes is trundling, he's stopped. Don't think he's going to take tyres. I'll be very surprised if he does. Car's still stationary. Leaders are coming round now. You've got to go, son, because there they are in the background. There is Hayden Young. I think they're going to get you. Reyes trundling down pit lane. Hayden Young's going to take that first place away. What about Craig Corish? Yep, it's this man. He's going to get out in front of Hartley Price, I believe, for George Reyes. Oh, Jesus, is he? Yeah, I think he is. Got to make sure he's the right side on the exit. And he's jumped. Who has he jumped? He's jumped Hartley Price. And he's only 6 seconds away from Craig Corish. So not only did he keep in front of Hartley Price and Berry, he's also pulled time on Craig Corish and Hayden Young.
Yep. And now this is the moment in the race where he has to. These need to be qualifying laps for Reyes if he's going to take the title here.
Every single lap, mate. Every single lap has got to be in that low 123s at least. He's got to do it from there. Because if he doesn't, he could be well and truly out of this. This is really going to mix this up at the moment. We've still got Hartley Price as the champion. But I think this is going to put... Reyes is going to be on 30 points. Hayden's going to get 40. That's 198. Reyes is going to be on 30 points. That's going to be 190. So it could be Hartley Price, Young, Reyes, that way round going in to the final championship standings.
We're into the last quarter of an hour here at Indianapolis. Reyes, well, he's got all the time. Well, he hasn't got a lot of time left. 7 has yet to make his final stop in the AMS. Well, saying that, he's just made his way into pit road now. And so we should see Quinton Clumpert go back into the lead. Scott Kostrich should go through into second place. And Newton will go into third place. Gareth Newton, that is, in the McLaren. But Reyes needs to put in some qualifying times. We'll keep an update on the lap times he's doing compared to Young and Corish. But there are also back markers which he'll have to navigate before he even gets near them.
Yeah, I think he will. But Hartley Price and Berry are now going to provide some of the action that we're waiting for on this race. So we've got 5.5 seconds. Reyes is bringing that gap down. He's bringing it down. So we think if it finished as it is right now, it would be Hartley Price, Young, Reyes. That's if it's finishes right now.
Well, Sam Berry's on the tail of Hartley Price for position, James, and that could also play a role in how the championship gets decided. Berry will fancy a look on Hartley Price very soon. Tim Reed, who we saw take an alternative route at some point in this one, is 23 seconds off those lot, and he's got no chance of salvaging anything more than what he's about to achieve.
You know what? They're getting held up, or they got held up there. I think
they did.
Yeah, more on Kostrick. May have played a part on this one. Not Moore. Who's in front of Moore? Newton and Moore. Sorry, Scotty. May have just played a part on the fact that they may have just held up Young and Corish because it's 4 seconds now. George Reyes, 12.5 minutes to go. Reyes last time 24.06. Corish 25.31. Young 24.82. 8 tenths. Is he going to get there?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's not a lot of cars left in this one. We've got a retirement actually for Tim Reed, who had stopped on the circuit. Don't know what happened to him.
I can tell you, he
JP.
went off the circuit. I've got a funny feeling that Mercedes back end is going to come and join the front. Yeah.
That was a rage quit.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim's had enough. Tim's like, no, I'm done now. There you go. Back to forwards and then decides that he's had enough. So, Reyes, 3.6. Now is Sam, Wookie, is Sam going to knock out Hartley Price? That's going to be the question. You've got this, Hayden. Keep focused, said Lottie there as well. So, is Dan Berry going to give Hartley Price as much grief as he just gave Reyes?
He's dropped down to 5th place at the moment. I can't see why he wouldn't fight back. Simon Darch is the latest to enter the pit lane. Don't know if that's for a scheduled stop or whether he's picked up some form of issue. But he's a long way back from Mark Ozier for position anyway. This is the closest battle we've got on track between these two in the fight for 4th position, which could have a massive say on how the championship gets decided. 7 has he completed his stop yet, JP? I'm just looking at whether he's actually done his last stop yet.
He's had 2, but he's managed to come out somehow in front of everybody. He has got Quinton Klumpert for company, and he's got Scotty Kostrick in behind further back, 5 seconds. But Scotty's in a position where he just needs to be to finish. So I think for Scotty now, he's, you know, he has technically wrapped up the AM Championship. He needed to be down in 4th and Moore needed a win. Well, unfortunately, Moore's down in 10th, 5th in class, not winning at all. We are debating. Don't debate. Tell Sam to get on with it. Have a battle. If Hartley Price wants to win this championship, Wookie, he's got to earn it. It ain't coming to him free, you know. You lot nearly all gave it to Reyes for nothing, and now you battle him in the final thing in the race. If it finished right now, it will be Harry Hartley Price on 205, Hayden Young on 198, and George on 195. So, if Harry Hartley Price goes down a position, that would put him on 208. Hayden Young still would not have enough to take it. So, yeah. Well, we'll see how this one goes. I think Sam's lost his tyres. Reyes is fighting Reyes as it lasted like 8 laps. So, there we go. But that's always the chance you take when you're in a battle, isn't it?
Indeed. Harry's just doing all the right things here. He won't be going at full pelt by any means. But Reyes has got the gap down to under a couple of seconds on Craig Corish in the fight for P2, which will be a little consolation for George Reyes in the grand scheme of things. Now the race is settling down into the final laps of this one. I think from the point Hayden Young will cross over the line, we'll get 6 more laps of this race. So I think we'll get 63 laps of an event here at Indianapolis.
Hey, well, we'll keep an eye out and see if that is correct. But Hartley Price and Sam Berry now. Vardigans is mixing in his own little battle with Raymond Van Zutphen. These guys are a lap down on the leaders, of course, the pros. But they're still having a fight all the way through. Berry's got a little bit closer, not as close as he could be. Vardigans, however, tucked right in behind Van Zutphen here. A nice little battle developing even further down the order, this close to the end.
And this is like a one final last dash for a bit of pride, at least anyway, between Van Zutphen and Vardigans for 12th overall. And looking at the standings in the AM Championship with the way things are going in that respective class.
Oh,
does feel to me, yeah, Kostrich is still doing enough at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. James Moore had to win. And if James Moore didn't win, then yeah, that's the outcome. Basically, Scotty Moore had to win. Kostrich had to do fourth. So yeah. But at the moment, Barnigans and Van Zutphen has spread a little bit further. Hartley Price and Berry. Berry started to come back at him here as well. So
he's got to catch him by surprise here, James, I think, if he wants to get by him.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to just either that or he's just got to send it. 6.5 minutes to go in the race. Not long left at all. I think it's got to be a send from Sam Berry. He can't go any further down. Reed's out, White's out. So Hartley Price will be in that 5th place because it is separate scoring for the pros and the AMs. So Reed will be, Hartley Price will be in that situation, but it will be how close Hayden Young's going to be to losing or winning this championship.
We've not got long left in this. I will say, though, James, that Reyes has got the gap down to under a second on Corish. There is a chance for him to finish in second place. I did stand by the fact that he had too much work to do to win this race, and I still stand by that. But he is getting the hammer down and going after Craig Corish, although they are coming up to back markers, which will play their role. It may give the draft to Corish on the pit straight.
Yeah, it may do. 178 at 24, 8898. 202 if Hartley Price ends up in 5th. And 198 for Hayden Young. So Hartley Price will get this by 4 points. Reyes will be on 190. So it would be 202, 198, and 190, I believe. Anyway, that's just me trying to do maths on the fly. But we'll see if we can get these close enough as much as possible. 4.5 minutes to go. Hayden Young out in front on his lonesome. Craig Corish is there. You can see Craig in the Porsche. George Reyes is there. They're just going past Harry 7. They've left everybody up to 5th place, mind you. And that is, of course, Sam Berry holding that 5th place at the moment, who is tucked in behind Hartley Price. Is he going to go and have a fight, Sam? No, not choosing not to this time. But you are right. Reyes is definitely bringing Corish in quickly.
Well, Berry's got to slow down, so that dies down that battle with Hartley Price for now. We'll stay with these two. Oh, that was a little too deep. He got that wrong, didn't he? Yeah, you're absolutely right. He went in too deep into the 3rd to last corner of this racetrack, and Reyes has got to go for it now. This is do or die time for Corish if he wants to take the title, even if it is a slim shot.
Yeah, Sam Berry's got a slow down. That's brought him 1.4 seconds back away from Hartley Price. Reyes is literally giving you that inside line. He's giving it to you, and he's giving it to you plus some.
He had to fight his way through there, and Reyes is passed at last.
Do you know what? If I was Hartley Price and this was for the championship right now, if there was more people left, I would have been fuming at that. Because they're on the same team, and Corish did not even cover the inside. He didn't do anything. I'd have been proper annoyed. Especially from teammates, though. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Let us know in YouTube chat what you think of that one. Sam Berry trying to come back at Hartley Price, 1.1 seconds back. Moore is having to go with Newton further down as well. They're not very far apart. Bardigans and Van Zutphen still fighting. They're coming on to the straight. There is the famous bricks of the Brickyard Indianapolis Oval. Oh, go on, James. Which way are you going to go? He's giving you the outside. Always harder to control on the outside.
To get it slowed down enough. He's not alongside, really. No, you have to just tuck back in behind and have another go next time around. Well, Hayden Young is about to start the penultimate lap of the race. If he has not already started it, I think that he has started it now.
He's got one and one more.
4.3 seconds between Young and Reyes. There's no way Reyes is going to do it here.
No, it should be Hayden Young taking the victory. But as we've seen on the last lap at Catalonia, anything can happen. Anything can happen. There's this and one more to go. So, you know, keep tuned on this one. But Hayden Young doing a great job. 4 seconds, 3.8 seconds now in front of Reyes. So, yeah, interesting. Should be until that last corner. Yes, Lottie, I know. We saw it, okay? That was the problem. He should have been his winner, Catalonia, but unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. That was one of the best endings of the season, I've got to be honest. Sam Berry closing in on Hartley Price here. Final lap of the race for Hayden Young. Barney should be waving from, there he is, on top of the gantry. Look, barely see him up there, perched up in the dizzy heights. The gap is 3.6 seconds. What do you
He's had a good race. On Reyes catching him?
Mm-hmm.
No chance. No. I think Young can really could really back off if he wants to here. He doesn't need to take too many risks. There is another back marker which he'll probably just back off in negotiating. He won't want to do any business with that. But it's been a well-driven drive, I have to say, from Hayden Young, because he started from third place on the grid to get up to where he is now, and he's about to take a brilliant victory. And we'll see very shortly of Harry Hartley Price taking the pro title, and we'll be seeing the AM champion being crowned as well. But what a drive from Hayden Young.
Yeah, stunning drive. Well done, Hayden. Great race by everyone. It was. Hayden's got Raymond van Zutphen in front of him. He doesn't necessarily need him to move, but he could probably really do without him being there. Not gonna lie. Hayden Young's gonna come over the line, taking the win here. Young wins at the Brickyard. Winner, chicken dinner for Hayden Young. George Reyes comes over in second place. Championship standings we'll hopefully have very, very shortly. Greg Corish comes over in a gallant third. But it's Harry Hartley Price, who we believe has wrapped up the championship. He is the overall champion here. And we've also got Scotty Kostrick coming over the line in the AMs. He's wrapped up the championship as well. James Moore had to win this race. He had to win it, and he didn't win it. So a great job as well. So flipping proud. There's Lottie, well done. In a YouTube chat there as well. And Melanie Young, obviously Hayden's mum. Lottie, Hayden's other half. As long as I have still got that round the wrong way, and you two haven't swapped positions. So there we go. Great race in there, Tom, wasn't it? Good race from all of them.
Indeed. I have to say, there was a great dice between Seven and Clumpert on the final lap, James. Whilst we were watching the pros go over the line, there was a good dice between Seven and Clumpert for the win.
Yeah, it was the AM victory win. Steve Clumpert made the dive, got it all wrong. That should have freed up Seven. Is Clumpert going to go for it again? Is it towards the checkered flag for these two?
All the way to the end. Great to see.
Yeah. Seven pulls over. Clumpert still going for it as well on the final lap. So good job from all of these guys as well. There is Harry Hartley Price doing his donuts. Well, we live in a small town. How could happen? You aren't wrong there, Lottie. Oh, dear me. Like an episode of EastEnders going on in your town, Lottie, is it? When they're all, amalgamated. Anyway, here's the results before I get myself in even bigger trouble. Hayden Young in first place, George Reyes in second, and Craig Corish in third. That should free up Harry Hartley Price. Harry Hartley Price is first on 205. Second, Hayden Young on 198. Third, George Reyes on 196, sorry. Sam Berry in fourth in 181. And Craig Corish on 180. So Hartley Price has wrapped up the championship. Sam Berry in fifth. Then we've got Harry Seven taking the victory in the AMS. Great battle with Quinton Clumpert on the final lap. Then we've got James Moore, Scotty Kostrick. Scott Kostrick should have wrapped this up with James Moore in second place, if I'm not mistaken. Unless Harry Seven has just jumped him. I'm waiting for final confirmation. Then we've got Gareth Newton, Joe Loudon, James Vardigans, Mark Ossier, Raymond Van Zutphen, Simon Dutch, Tim Reed, Andy White, and then Jeremy Jukic. Further down, closely followed by Mark Wesley. AMS, first place, Scotty Kostrick, 214. Second, Harry Seven on 200. Third, James Moore, 192. Fourth, Quinton Clumpert on 183. And Joe Loudon finishing in fifth on 174. So great job from all of them guys. And let's see who we've got waiting here as well. Let's start off with, I want to have a chat with this man first, find out whether or not we deliberately started at the back or did we have connection issues. George Reyes, gallant effort, 4 wins this season, stunning run there as well. Was it on purpose or did you just have connection problems in quali?
I had a connection problem in quali.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I lost connection 2 times actually. I came the second time and I lost again.
Do you think it would have been different?
I think so. I got damaged at the very start because of a clumsy move, but yeah.
Was that a clumsy move by you though, George, right?
Well, technically there was free wide and I was just focusing on the free wide rather than the car in front of me. And that's technically what happened. I wasn't focused on the pink car and I just rammed onto him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, dude, you have had a season and a half. Are we going to see you back next season?
I think that would be unfair to them. No, I don't think so. It was really fun though.
Hey, Sam Berry gave you a good old fight.
Yeah, he was really fast. I mean, I don't know. He can be very fast. I don't know why he wanted to fight me. I guess he wanted to have fun, and it was kind of fun to be honest. I can't lie, but yeah.
Oh, come on, then. You got to admit, that was better fighting with them than them all moving out the way just to let you go through.
Yeah. Today was really fun. Like it wasn't just him. I think I had like 3 others that kind of really stuck in. But yeah, like he was the longest, I guess.
I reckon if they all did that from the beginning of the season, I don't think you would have been in this position.
I think so the same. I think if they did it from the start, I may have made some mistakes before, but you know, it was pre-win, so I took it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, George, anyone you want to shout out, buddy, before we let you go?
No, I don't have anyone. Sorry.
That's all right, mate. No worries. Well, George, it's been a pleasure. I've had fun commentating on you, fella. And if you do want to come back, pop in. Come and do an old race or something. See how you get on.
Yeah, I'll probably come as an elite or something. Just
All right,
yeah. Take care, man. Take care.
And
Thanks.
See you later, bye. Let's jump down to this man who had a great little ding dong with Quinton Clumpert on the final lap of the race there as well, and has finished in second place in the championship for the AMS. Is one Mr. Harry Seven. Harry, welcome in.
Good evening, gents. How are we all?
I'm very well, thank you very much. How are you?
Well, glad I'm over. I think I've got aches and pains all over where I never thought. That felt like the longest 90-minute race ever, that, to be perfectly honest.
Mate, it was great fun up here.
There was carnage. I've never seen the steward, what was it, the start of all of the steward things popping up. I think I had George ploughing to the side of me at the start. So cars spinning, all that, all seems everything was going on.
Yeah, poor old Connor did have a bit of a rough one at the beginning. He had lots to contend with, but he got through them as the pro that he is. And he managed to clear them all out as well. But you were so close, but not quite there.
No, well, to be fair, I mean, Scott, he's been consistent the whole season. So I think it was last week and the week before, in Mexico with the 2-1s where if I could have them back again, that's where I'd have them. But I say Scotty is just Mr. Consistent. He just sort of tough on track. So we get a bit of door knocking again this time, but for the first time this season, we didn't actually take one another out. So he deserves it.
Yeah, I think he's done a stunning job as well. Consistency was the key, and Scotty was there.
100%.
You know, you've done the same amount of races, so it ain't all that. But he's taken 3 wins. Well, he took 3 and you took 2. So, you know, it does kind of mix it up on that one. Harry, we're going to see you back next year? Next season. Sorry.
Well, I can't remember what date it is, but definitely back.
November.
Well, there you go.
Freaked me out now because I'm supposed to know when it is. November the 3rd, Harry. November the 3rd.
I knew that. I'll pretend I knew that. But yeah, now we're back. I say it's a good laugh. This one, everyone, all the guys behind the scenes, you guys that broadcast it, and I say there's a good group of guys in this series. So yeah, definitely going to be back for another one.
All right, awesome job there, buddy. Well done. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, we kind of just alluded to there. Just everyone behind the scenes, Sean, the other guys that sort of run it, and then obviously as well Connor, who's on the steward side of it. I mean, the steward in this season's made a mega thing. So yeah, to everyone behind the scenes, just thanks to all of those guys.
All right, man. Well, take care, buddy, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Right, let's go to Mr. James Moore. He had one job this race, and he had to win it, and he didn't win it. And he finished in 3rd in the championship as well. James, well done on your 3rd in the race and 3rd in the championship.
Thank you very much, mate. I'm broken now after that.
Dude, that looked quite tough. You know, going in, we knew that you had to win. And Scotty had to finish outside of the top 5, which was doable with the amount of AMs that were there. But I can't... You didn't quite... Was it the early stages of the race that threw you off, do you reckon?
I'll tell you, I thought it would be a good idea to short fuel for the first one. Get away from absolutely everywhere. Get away from everybody as quick as I can and just try and do it that way. It didn't pay off. Quinton in the Mustang has got all the pace, so the powerhouse that is the Mustang just drove away from me. I could not catch him, and then Harry he's gone. So it was really tough, and to be fair to Scott, it was quite a race. You know, I really gave it my all. So, you know, it is what it is. I've got 3rd in the championship. I'm happy with that, you know.
Exactly. I agree. I think you've done a great job as well, and you should be proud of how it's all turned out. Unlucky not to get 2nd. You went in ahead of Harry 5 points, but of course Harry's taken the victory. So yeah, it's been a good season all round, and I think for you at the Upshift, that I think you're going to come back next season and get even stronger, do you reckon?
Absolutely, yeah. As I say, we swapped the Aston Martin when it got released, and you know what? It's been an absolute machine, and we've all decided that we're going to continue with it for the foreseeable. So you will certainly see us back, hopefully as a trio in season 9. Yeah, and we'll be back in the Aston.
Joining the team?
Sergio has not been able to do a lot of races this season for other commitments, but no, we'll be back as a trio. And then, there's going to be a slightly different look to the cars. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, mate. Well, I look forward to seeing that one. Anyone you want to shout out, buddy, before we let you go?
Everybody at Tanso and yourselves. You know what? Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So, big shout out to you guys and Tanso, Sean for putting it all on. It's been absolutely amazing. And, thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right, man. Well, take care, buddy, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next season with a new livery on the machines.
Thank you very much, mate.
Take care, bud.
You too, mate. Cheers.
Right, next up now is the man that became so close in Catalonia, but he
That's how you do it.
But he was in 2nd place. He then decided he was going to come out and try again here at the Brickyard at Indy, and he finally took that victory there as well. Hayden Young, winner, chicken dinner, sunshine. How are you?
Mate. Oh, mate, I deserved that one. God, I'm so warm after that. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Tough one, wasn't
it? Yeah, it's really tough. I don't love the place. It's not one of my favourite places, but I just seem to go well. I don't know why.
2 wins this season, bud.
Yep.
So, and 2 wins and a nearly.
2 wins and a very nearly, yeah.
Very, very nearly. How's the season been? Would you wrap it up as a success? You finished second in the championship.
Oh, did I really? I honestly didn't know. I didn't even know what the points were. Second in championship, but yeah, I've loved it. I've really enjoyed it. I think the 60 and the 90 minutes, I think it worked well. I enjoyed that. You know, these guys they're a good bunch of racers. They're not dirty. If they make a mistake, they make a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, but yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great season.
Yeah, Harry Hartley Price on 205, you on 198.
Not too far then. Not too far.
No, George Reyes behind you on 196.
Yes. I knew we could beat him. I knew he could be beaten.
Do you know what? Watch that back, and if you lot are driven like Sam Berry drives throughout that, when Reyes is behind him over the last, I don't know, 10 laps or whatever it was, he would have been in a different position. Because if you drove like Sam Berry did, he blocked him, he defended, he literally parked the bus. It was like watching Jose Mourinho's Man United. It was just like parking the bus all the time. And I reckon if everybody drove like that, it would have been a different story for Reyes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some that you just, when you look on, because I've got the eye overlay sort of things, and you can see him closing in, and then bang, he's just passed. It's like, oh. Yeah, but you can't blame him. He's good at overtaking. He's late on the brakes. But I did a couple of overtakes myself. I quite enjoyed it.
Don't you worry, we caught some of it.
Yeah. The Andy White on the outside, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you're a little celebrity. Lottie was cheering on YouTube. Mum was there as well.
She sat behind me. Lottie, she was. I couldn't hear her though. She wasn't screaming or out like that. So.
Well, she said she's going to buy you dinner tonight.
Nice.
Oh no, she said she's going to buy you a well-earned takeaway kebab.
Bonus.
No, and she says you can have whatever you like, and she's paying. Amazing. That's what she said. Free delivery. So there we go. Hayden, listen, son, you've had a stunning season. Well done for you.
Cheers,
are we going to see you back next season?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, what car are you going to be in? Please tell me you're not coming back in that Porsche, mate. Come in that Porsche. I'm going to come around and kick you.
No, I'm not doing the Porsche. Just the McLaren seems to suit me a bit better. So.
Not tempted by the Aston?
A little bit. I'm doing the Le Mans 24-hour in it on Saturday. So in the Aston. So it's not too bad. But no, I prefer the Macro, if I'm honest.
All right, mate. Well, you stick in whatever suits you best, son. You know what I mean? Well done to you. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, everyone watching, everyone that messes in chat, you guys, and Sean who sets this thing up. It's really good. I really do enjoy it.
All right, man. Well, take care. Cheers. Enjoy your kebab, and Lottie's going to buy it for you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, next up, I'm going to grab in your overall victor. He had to finish 5th and above if Reyes won. Reyes didn't win. He was in his safe spot in 4th. He's taken the championship. Your pro champion for this season, Mr. Harry Hartley Price. Harry, welcome in, bud.
Hello. That was very interesting. That I'm sure you saw me and Sam battling Mr. Reyes.
I did. I loved it.
It was really good. I don't know, my pace has gone, but to be fair, I had one of my best races, as in just like enjoyment. You know what I mean? Just to get into the thick of it as such. It was great. I
know all of you moaned at me when I said it on the broadcast. Battle him, it would have been a different story. I reckon if you guys had battled like you did during that race, throughout the other races, when you all rolled over and got your belly tickled, I reckon it would have been a completely different fight going into that championship. I don't think he would have had it his own way.
To be fair, like when I like you say that, I was like, well, it's all right that, but he's like over a lap quicker. So like, what's the point? And I'll admit I didn't battle him, but I was like, I know he's quicker than me, but I'm just gonna do it because why not? And to be fair, like Sam, he got him a few times, and So Sam
was like Evander Holyfield, old on his legs, but he was definitely giving it a good old scrap.
Oh, he was fair play. He did some crazy moves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was great.
So you missed out on all that fun and enjoyment, Harry, for the last 4 races where Reyes won.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh,
but
come
in that
on, Harry,
one,
you just said
no,
you had great fun in that race.
I didn't. No, yeah, but we have a team. Like, and I'm not saying it's like Papyrus bollock. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're
Should I
fine.
swear
Ignore
it?
that.
Me, yeah. But yeah, no. Appreciate doing the commentary again. It's been a good one.
What happened to your livery?
This is special Randy setups. Yeah.
All right, mate.
It's if you know, you know type of thing.
Well, I have
A
no
one-off.
idea. I have no idea. So there you go. Anyone you want to shout out, Harry, before we let you go, bud?
Great driving from everyone, but Sam, fair play. I feel like we worked together a bit there. And to be fair, he was helping me a lot in that last stint. So yeah, thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
All right, mate. Don't watch Broadcast Bet. I may have called for Sam to give you a good old little bit of a ding-dong towards the end.
Ooh, shots fired.
Hey, listen, it was close. It was very close. But well done, bud. And we'll look forward to seeing you next season.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Right, is Andy White waiting for an interview, or am I just grabbing Andy and hoping he's there for a chat? Andy, welcome in.
Hello, gents. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I wasn't sure if you were just down there having a conversation, or if you wanted you actually wanted a chat with me.
Well, I know Sean's away on holiday, so I just thought I'd come in and do his little bit.
All right, mate. I'll hand it over to you then. Go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody for racing this season. It's been a great season as always. Some good battles on track and some good broadcasts. I just wanted to do that little bit really for Sean, because I know he's away and I know he'd love to come in and do it.
All right, mate. Well, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun as well. Your race went well, apart from your engine blow up.
Well, it went well in the first stint, and then we had the speeding in the pits. Then we came out of the pits and then caught the grass on the exit of the last corner and just punted it in the wall. So then we just left it in the pits and the engine blew up.
You forgot to turn it off, Andy, did you?
Yeah, but it was a good race. It was a great one to watch, especially Sam Berry on George Reyes. That was a great battle.
Oh, mate, loved it. Loved it. You all should have done that at the beginning. I've said it to everybody so far. You all should have done that at the beginning, and I reckon he would have been in a different position going into this final race.
Yeah, it's easier said than done now, to be fair. But
you've all just proved it. You've all just proved it. Literally everyone. Harry gave him a battle. Sam gave him a battle. Everybody who's going after he gave him a battle. You've all literally just proved that you can all do it. And, you know, it would have been amazing. But there we go. Andy, anybody else you want to shout out before I let you go, bub?
Everybody in Tanso for being in here this season. Thanks to Clocks and James for sponsoring it. And look forward to seeing you all next season.
All right, mate. Awesome job. Well, thank you so much, dear sir. And I will catch up with you soon.
See you later, buddy.
Bye-bye. Right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Tom, final race of the season. What do you think?
It wasn't a classic, but we were treated to some brilliant racing, especially between the pros in the fight in the championship in that. And of course, a huge dice towards the end involving the likes of Harry Seven and all that, really. But in the end, congrats to the champions, Kostrich in the AMs, and of course, the man we just spoke to, Harry Price in the pros. It's been a brilliant season and more to come when the championship resumes in November.
Absolutely. Right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody who's come along. Lottie's been here from the beginning. Mel Young's been in here. Wookie's been in here. Fresh Rubbers, TSB, and Michael Cooper, and anybody else I missed. It's been a pleasure. But for now, and as always, I've been JP. I've been alongside Tom Cairns. Take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.